Mm. Wait a minute. Say it. Mm. Wait a minute. Say it. Okay. One more time. I said, wait a minute now. Wait a minute now. Dang it. I'm over two. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I gotta orient myself. I gotta orient myself. This way. Back to the camera. I said back to the camera. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. See, I just needed a spot. That's what it was. I didn't spot in the middle, so I missed. I missed the lineup. Little man got close. You ready to go inside, buddy? Yeah, it's hot out here. I am hot. I am hot out here. The weather. There's something about the having the camera on me and the feeling of being watched. I have I've had that sensation that somebody's watching me. Uh it's that falsetto I can't. Somebody's watching me. It feels less when I'm down here, and yet anyway, that's a whole other. Yeah, I think I have always had a feeling of being watched. I'm not gonna say always. I don't remember. I don't remember entirely. Oh, these are dirty and distracting, so they are coming off. As I don't have a desire to go in, get the thing to clean it and do all that. And considering I'm not looking at anything specifically, I'm not. My eyes aren't. They can go. I get a gist of the world without my glasses. Yeah, being watched, man. When I there was definitely a feeling that my parents it was either my parents or teachers or someone. It's like someone could always see me. And especially when I had a belief in a God who was watching everything, watching over everything, everything that I did, everything that I thought, everything that I said, which is part of what I did and yet feels different. So there was never a point in my time, there was never a point in my time. Yeah, there was never a point in my time where I felt like I wasn't being watched. Even now, even now that my parents aren't around, I don't believe that there's a God watching me. I, well, I guess the government. I guess I have this deep down this feeling that with all the tech devices that are hooked up to the internet, that the government or someone or something has the ability to watch me. All my text messages. Um, yeah. So I still have this sense of being watched. Externally. What I understand now is that there is some truth to that. That I am always being watched or understood or listened to. There is something listening to me at all times, and that something I like to refer to as my prefrontal, my wise mind, the piece of my brain that is aware of itself in order to keep tabs, keep track on what's happening. Without that piece, I mean, from my understanding, that's the piece that separates us from the animals. there's a there is an innate reaction to emotion that the animal kingdom has. This is also this is me speaking in conjecture. I'm not a professional in these matters. Therefore, I am not adhering to professional integrity. My profession is human. I human. And yeah, this is my understanding of what's happening currently. And I'm happy to update as I constantly do. I'm constantly updating my understanding of everything, people, things, play, whatever. So, yeah, in simplest terms, I'm watching me. I'm always watching me. I'm never not watching what I'm doing, thinking, feeling. And oh no, that's got to go. Un momento. Hello. That came on, so I got to turn the AC off because that's a big no. No, that is I feel so distracted.
Oh yeah, I get that. I have that when I like meditate and stuff.
Yeah, it's AC. Stepping inside, turn off the AC. There we go. There it is. That had me. One. There will be a time where I film one of these without distraction. That I will get through an entire stream of consciousness uninterrupted. Well, no. Wait a minute. I said, wait a minute. I said, oh, overdid it. Man, I was feeling this, and then that happened, and I feel like I'm starting over. I'm always watching me. Always. I'm always watching. And for most of my life, as I was watching, I was comparing everything that I was thinking, doing, everything that I was thinking and doing as I was comparing it to what I understood I was supposed to be doing. and what I was supposed to be thinking. I feel like that's being picked up. Which, man, how even dissipated that sound is overwhelming. Being outside next to a plane. Huh. Ah. You're all right. I'll take a moment.
Are they in your car?
Leashes? Negative. Are they not in your car?
You brought him here. From the
Oh, did you put them in the car?
Yeah.
Oh, then yes.
Okay.
Then yes, they are in the car.
Can I leave these here and come back?
Yeah. The car it might be unlocked anyway. I often don't lock it when I park in the garage. For anyone who wants to steal stuff out of my car.
Thank you.
Good luck getting through the garage door. It's an impenetrable force. It's not. Please don't do that. I'm always watching me. Wow. Oh. Okay, I was getting to a point. I didn't expect to hold my breath while I was looking for the thought, and yet I did. and once I made the decision to hold my breath till I found the thought, I refused to let it go. But I was at the peak of my inhale, so I felt a lot of pressure, and I'm glad I got there. Maybe it's not working. Yeah, it's fine. So while I was watching myself, I was evaluating myself, judging myself based on my understanding of what I was supposed to be. And anytime I didn't think, feel, act, talk, whatever, in the way that was in line with what I was supposed to be, I felt it. I felt it in here. Hummingbird. Not only did I feel it, it went into how I understood myself. And that's where the I'm not a nothing began. Playing football, every time I take these hits, they still hurt. And as long as they hurt, I'm not tough enough. Not that it hurt. It's I could take that it hurt and move forward. That wasn't my understanding of tough. My understanding of tough was that it just didn't even feel it. It's not that I didn't feel it. It's that feeling didn't register as pain. It just registered as like a gentle breeze. Blowing against my skin. Like the clothes feel against my body. I just feel them. There's no discomfort. There's no pain. That's what it means to be tough. That is what I thought. That is how I felt. Because I also, as many things that I will talk about, especially when talking about my younger self, I am using words I have now that I did not have then. Because I didn't attempt to give what was happening words. It was just happening. And most of the time I wanted to avoid most of those things. So I wasn't going to give them words, because to give them words would be to confront them. And to confront them would be in order to confront them, I'd have to admit to their existence. And when I hurt and I didn't want to, if I didn't admit its existence, it wasn't there. That's right. That's how I dealt with trauma. By pretending it didn't exist until it went away. Which I learned from, there was a thing that my mom, when I think about this memory, I remember it in association with my mom, not with my dad. And that could also be because my dad traveled. So he wasn't gone a lot. Oh, sorry, he wasn't home a lot. He was gone often for months at a time to provide income, because money, America, money's more important than anything else. So when I would misbehave in stores, usually I'd wander, or I'd want and I'd emote, because they were brand new. So they just kind of happened, and I had no defenses against my emotion just raw coming out. So when I'm in a store and I'm upset, I was upset out loud. Not ideal in the store, which I understand now. Sometimes. No, I understand that, and I adhere to it sometimes. But, so when I would act out as a youngster, and my mom, who I recognize had a lot on her plate, as I now understand that all this doesn't just happen. We got to do it all. And she was doing the executive functioning for 3 children and 1 adult. She was doing all of that. A lot. And she needed us to not emote out loud. So she would threaten violence, the spanking, the belt. If you don't stop that when we get home, which I had been spanked. And I didn't like it. I didn't want it. I did not want it. It was scary, because did a bird just spit on me? All right. I felt like it came in. Maybe it came out. Anyway. Yeah, terrified of spankings. Oh, they are, even now, a butt whooping, terrifying. When I watch professionals, boxing, UFC, the slap thing, man, okay, we'll come back to that, actually. But even when I watch it now, just I don't like it. So as a child, it was, I don't prefer it now. And I'm not as afraid of it as much as I just want to avoid it. As a child, fear. There was that hit fear. So the threat of that, and sometimes even with that, I was very reactive. I am very emotionally reactive. That's why I feel bad disciplining my dog. It's not my dog. Dozer. He's not mine. He's just a dog that I live with. He's not just. He's a dog that I live with. He's way more than just to me. But he'll bark at the window, and I'll ground him. I'll go to your room. Because I recognize it's dangerous. And because if he barks to a certain degree, or because he also scratches at it and he puts all of his weight on it, I think he believes it's invincible, and it's not. And if it breaks, yeah, because glass is sharp. I have a very acute understanding of this fact. That glass cuts skin, and he's covered in it. So, but his emotion, because when he's in the room and we're all downstairs having downstairs fun, and he's just in the room, I feel he doesn't like it, because the moment I come up, he's, yeah, I can. So I had this fear of it, and then sometimes even with that fear, I would still, because it's simply I have wiggle room. I haven't crossed the line yet. But once I do, then it's that's it. Soon as we get home, you getting it. Usually it's both of y'all. Well, the audio file in my head says both of y'all. And yet, and yet I can't guarantee that. I don't want to speak for my brother. That's why, because he could do that. So I'm saying you. However, the audio file, to be honest, that's it. As soon as we get home, both of y'all gonna get it. Or all three of y'all. And that level of terror that washed over me, because the whoopings are coming. That put me into, because I've heard that, and in the past there had been a time where once that was said, that is what happened. So now it is the terror of definitely. Oh. And I went into take it mode, where if my understanding is accurate, the clinical term is dissociate, where I disconnect from myself. And it is just, okay, well, whatever you say, and I'm not going to say anything. Well, yeah, because the fear was so great, I needed to be away from it. So I hit that. And while in that, no, that's not true. No, actually, as I'm saying that actually doesn't feel accurate. I think I wanted to talk about take it mode being connected to dissociation, because that's something that I recently have uncovered about myself, that when I do that, it's just, you could, what do you want? You want that, how much more money to move me into a place, even though when we talked about it, it was this number, and now you're saying because you have to walk further, it cost me another $1,000. yeah, just take it. I have to be out tomorrow. So just take it. Or is it next week? I think it was next week. Yeah, just take it. Whatever. Just take it. Take it. Right? Or whatever is happening to me. You want to yell at me? Okay, just yell at me. I'll just take it. I'll just sit here and I'll take it. So I wanted to connect that into how I felt as a kid, and yet there was definitely, that didn't happen. The fear stayed with me when I recognized it's happening. And something that I understood about my mom, or something that I believed about my mom, whether or not it was accurate, something that I believed about my mom, is that she had a poor memory. And if I could be quiet enough, if I could disappear, even from her focus, where I'm invisible. You don't even, that when she would get home, because I'm invisible, she doesn't even think about that whooping that was coming, that she had already said she was going to give to me. And I believed it was effective. Because when I became invisible and we got home, the whooping did not come. So there was this sense of, if I just, and for me, as long as I don't remind her of it, it won't happen. But if I remind her of it, if I was like, hey, Mom, when we were in Toys R Us and I was in the aisle playing with the toys and having the time of my life. And I was really loud, and then I knocked over a shelf, and then that broke a toy. And then the employee came there. I'm making this story up as I'm saying it, because I remember playing. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I do remember that I was having the time of my life. After that part, I started making up the specific details, and it felt disingenuous because that's not. I would just be loud and yelling or fighting with my brother. Whatever it was, I was so in the moment. I was all the way in the moment. Being in a store didn't even matter to me. I was paying no attention to my surroundings. I was just in the moment and in my emotion. And so when I was doing that, Mom, and then you yelled at me and said, when we get home, both of y'all's getting a butt whooping. You forgot. I don't know. We haven't gotten our butt whoopings. So, do you want to just do that? Right? I'm not the kid that tells the teacher to check the homework. Where was I looking? Imaginary audience. Sometimes I'll do that. I'll see an audience out there and they're not there. And then I remember that. And then it reminds me that I'm not in the moment. Hi, plants. Yeah, so I didn't do that. And so that began this feeling of, if I ignore the bad thing, if I pretend like it's not there, maybe it'll go away. Maybe it'll be forgotten about by everyone. I just have to not talk about it long enough. If I don't talk about it for long enough, if we all pretend it didn't happen for long enough, then it'll go away and it'll never come back. That's how I felt about my parents' domestic choices. um, but yeah, my parents were violent towards each other, verbally and physically. And there was a point in time where my dad, well, when I say them physically, I have a memory of my dad being physically abusive to my mother, not so much the other way around physically. I don't know if I remember her squaring up. Maybe if she did, maybe if she got some head movement, my dad'd be less inclined, or more so. Maybe that would increase his insecurity in those moments as they were at their peak, which is what led to all of that. But yes, my emotionality definitely passed down, as everything that I am is. Passed down with a little me, right? It was just a little zhuzh, little mom, little dad. Mix it all together, you get your boy. But yeah, there was a time where my dad made the decision that it was just never going to happen again. He was never going to do that again. And to this day, he has been a man of his word in that regard. And when I was a kid, we didn't talk about it. We didn't talk about it until I reached out to them. I was like, hey, I want to talk about this because we just never have. And I don't understand so many things about this. And I want to. So, given that it was never talked about, I, as a child, felt similarly to those whoopings that if I just don't talk about it, if I never talk about it, then it will never happen again. Because what if, child logic, remember the next thing out of my mouth was the logic that I arrived to as a child and then just kind of tucked it away and it became an emotion. Was that I can't talk about it because maybe they just forgot. And if I remind them about it by asking them about it, they'll do it again. Like my dad would be like, oh shit. Yo, Trav, thank you for reminding me. Hey, Tina. Like that was a fear that I had. That all of a sudden he just remembered that that's something that he did. Oh. And so throughout my life, that became a tactic for dealing with things that I did not want to confront. For anything that I wanted to go away or that I wanted to be forgotten, that I wanted to unhappen, to not exist anymore, I just do not talk about it. And sometimes that works. Sometimes I get a bill for something from that I have this, I paid that doesn't make sense, and then I just don't ever pay it. I just nope. That's gonna go away because it's wrong. Because I have a feeling that it's just wrong, so it's just gonna go away. And for I don't even remember what specifically. Oh no, there was a time when I hurt my shoulder uh, and I had surgery, and there was this sense of, oh, they wanted to charge me more. My insurance said something about not being covered, and I remember checking with the doctor that did the surgery and having a very, and I believe recorded conversation, but a very specific conversation that if we do this surgery in this place, then it will be fully covered by your insurance. Guaranteed. We have checked. They have approved. Yada. I have that specific conversation in my mind. So for me, it's, well, either the insurance covers it or they're gonna pay it. Cause no, I have a guarantee on record, so I'm not gonna. They're not gonna get $35,000 from me. That's just not gonna happen. And they would ask for documents from time to time, which my executive functioner, aka mom, never let me get too far away. And it was out of my mind. Like I sent the stuff in. Yeah, here's this, here's that, here's this, and then eventually it resolved itself because once they got the things they needed from me, then it was just up to them. And I didn't care how long it took. I wasn't going to give any more time. I was like, no, it's them now. They got everything that they needed. There are the flies out here. This being out here, appreciation for a building to exist in whenever I want. That's safe. Won't be all the things in it. People won't just show up in it. Man, I'm not. The fact that when we go through elections, can we start asking the question of how do you guarantee housing for every human being, for everyone in this country? Because it's possible. And so it's kind of just like, just start there. Start food and housing. If everyone's fed and everyone has housing and everyone has medical coverage, I think we're all going to chill. I think we'd all chill out super hard. There'd be a lot less of all the things. Because those, having our needs met, I've lived in neighborhoods where everyone has their needs met. It's pretty chill. Leave the doors open. Don't need to lock anything. It's kind of like, yeah, no, we're chilling. So I'd like this whole country to be a neighborhood where everyone has their needs met. And we keep electing people that believe it's not possible. So stop doing that. Can we just stop doing that? That'd be, I'm not sure how. As I was speaking about just a moment ago, my mom is still my executive functioner. I am still intern level. I don't have the executive functioning ability to do that. I just understand that it's possible, and we have so many people on this planet who excel at executive functioning. And so we could just, and like to, and I've met people who it's their jam to executive function, to set things up so that the dominoes just fall. Boom, and they fall infinitum. And everybody's just watching this endless domino fall like, yo, this is. So we could just let them do it. They wouldn't have to do other things like work at Walmart for money. If we could figure that out. This is also why I'm team replace workers with AI. Because if we have robots doing all the work and then everybody has all their needs met, because really taking jobs, oh yeah, it's going to take jobs. Sure, fine. Take the jobs. I don't even like a job. I like money, the money that the job gives me. But if I could just get money for doing this, and then I could call this the job because it makes money, yeah, I'm on board with that. But I'd rather have robots doing all of the work and get us back to slavery so we can function properly. It's one of my key understandings of why this country is faltering, is because it was built on slavery and then it wasn't reworked properly because we just shifted slavery around and we put different names on it. I mean, the like, okay, when I say slavery, I'm speaking specifically to free labor slavery, not the owning of a human being to you do whatever I want. We don't, well, do we still have that a little? It feels, oh yeah, sex slavery, duh. That's still a thing. Yeah. Epstein, duh. Right in my face. Yeah. So if we could have robots that don't have emotions or feelings and don't get tired, ethical slavery right there. If we could just have robots do everything, it just would require us to have everybody have their needs met, which could lead to it, given, because then if nobody has jobs, we could technically put everybody on unemployment, right? And then we have slavery back. So the cost of everything goes back to slave prices. Back when we have slaves, that's going to be the price of everything. But we'll still have the dollar amount that we have from minimum wage, like $100, which back in the 1800s was like $1 million. So then instantly everyone's a millionaire and we don't need more money. We just, cost of everything goes down because slavery. Okay, that's my political AI rant for the moment. Hiding from the thing that like the thing that I don't like. Well, that's kind of what our government's doing. It's kind of, I mean, that's kind of actually thematic for how I see culturally America exist on a larger scale. Of something terrible happens, we'll just stop talking about it, and then it's like it never happened, and then we just keep moving forward. Because we're not really, oh yeah, the flies. So I was glad we have a house, which is why I want everyone to have a house. Yeah, that's where that sidetrack came from. But, and yeah, there's a lot of pretending like stuff's not happening, like things aren't out in the open. And I remembered how we got here. Me watching me. That is how I learned to ignore the things that I don't like, that I don't want to be there. So when there were the things about me that I was watching in me that I didn't like, I would ignore them and hope that they would disappear. If I just pretended like they weren't there, if I just, for long enough, if I just pretended like the hurt didn't hurt for long enough, it would go away. So I never looked at it. And yet I still felt it all. And when I'm judging that against the way that I think I should be, feeling all of that without actually looking at it, I just felt that I wasn't tough. Because I couldn't really look at and understand that the way that I understood tough isn't, one, accurate, two, healthy. That I am a soft, squishy human. My body is, I am a sensing machine, and I'm quite sensitive. And so when things hurt, it's my body saying, hey, just don't, if you can, if possible, we'd like to not encounter that. And then if it's it's my job to encounter it. Oh, does it have to be your job? Well, to get what I want, I believe so. Okay. Then I guess I'll just take it. I felt that for a while. And now when I feel the discomfort in my body, I listen to it. And I'm like, oh, okay, no, I'm not going to force you to be what I think you're supposed to be. I'm going to let you be what you are, which is sensitive. So when that hurts, yeah, it hurts. If I can avoid it, I'm going to. Right now, my stomach hurts because I'm hungry. So I'm going to go eat. And it's 12. So I'm going to make breakfast for Mary because she's got some psyches to help. Takes a lot of calories. So, easy on the way out. Way easier on the way out.